Hi guys, so this video is going to be for people who want to lose weight. I will be talking about dieting, calories, weighing yourself. So if any of that is triggering to you, please click out of the video now. I have been trying to lose weight since I had children. So about 7 years ago, I have been trying to lose weight, and then I just kept putting on weight. I also had 2 more children after my first child, so I had gained a lot of weight from the time that I was 18 to, I want to say, 23. I had gained probably a total of 60 pounds from the time that I became a mom, and I was just so unmotivated to lose that weight that it was just a spiraling cycle for me, that I just continuously would eat, and then I would try to diet, and it just wouldn't work. Hello guys, my name is Ariana. If this is your first time seeing me, if it is not your first time seeing me, welcome back to the channel. I make videos here on YouTube, and thank you for clicking on this one. I thought that it would be most appropriate if I started the video off with my journey and really just touching base on how I got from being extremely overweight, really depressed. I had moon face. I mean, I feel like I always have had a really round face, but it is significantly different now. You can tell in pictures that I was just really puffy and very inflamed. I also was pre-diabetic, and now I am not. I thank God that I am not anymore. I also had developed inflammation in my joints, so I had something called sacroiliitis. It was just all around bad. Now I am able to move freely. I don't have the pre-diabetes looming over my head anymore, and I'm able to keep up with my children, and I physically look different. So it is such a blessing, and I really want to share that with you guys, because hopefully it can give you guys some ideas or maybe inspire you to start your journey if that's the reason why you're watching this video. In 2023, I had been the biggest that I was ever. It was a really dark time for me. At the end of 2022, I had experienced the worst trauma I had ever had to endure, and I really didn't know how to cope or deal with it at that time. What I turned to was food, and being postpartum and already trying to feel comfortable in your body and trying to lose weight or trying to stay active after a baby, which I was motivated to do, and then that kind of just fell off. So I had gained 30 pounds on top of my pregnancy weight gain, and that put me at about 265 to 270 pounds. I've never shared how much weight I was at that point in my life. So this is definitely, I want to say, an uncomfortable topic for me, but I really want this video to be as educational as possible and as motivational as possible. Life for me felt like it was consistently falling apart, that I couldn't grasp my reality, and I was just having a really hard time postpartum and trying to deal with my new life, my new reality. It was really difficult. I spent a lot of the nights not sleeping properly. I was eating a lot. I used food as an outlet for myself to feel better, to fill a void, to fill a hole that I was experiencing in my life. So that's when I started to put on more weight. I was eating a lot more. I was going out a lot more to like fast food places. So I was eating around, I want to say 4,000 calories, maybe a little more. And I'm not even exaggerating, because I would have a sandwich and then I would have like Mexican food afterwards. It was a really intense and sad time, and I really was trying to use food as a coping mechanism, which is never a healthy thing to do. I just felt like my life was falling apart, and it still is like really painful. But the reason why I'm making this video is because even though I feel that sadness or I feel that pain, I don't indulge the same way that I was, because I've learned how to have a better relationship with food, which hopefully through this video I will be able to convey. I was living a very sedentary lifestyle. I wasn't walking anywhere, not exercising. I was just always trying to eat. I didn't drink my calories. I never really had that problem, but I was eating a lot. I would snack a lot, and I would try to eat different foods. If I went out, it was because I was getting food. I would sleep the days away. I wouldn't do anything. I was very unproductive. I wouldn't clean. I was just in a depressive state. And it was really bad. It was so bad that sometimes I wouldn't wake up early enough in the day, and then I would have my first meal at like 1 p.m. and just be binging on whatever I could find or going out to the store. So it'd be like croissants, bagels, sandwiches, cheese fries, tacos, burritos, anything that was near me, I was trying to get my hands on. It is honestly really sad that I ever lived my life that way, in such a survivalistic mindset, that I felt that the only way that I could survive was to eat. It was very primal for me, and I think that it was just such deep-rooted trauma and pain that I was feeling that I was just trying to suppress it with food. At this time, I was pumping and breastfeeding, so my hunger levels were pretty elevated. I was also using that as an excuse to eat unhealthy, saying, yes, well, I need to keep up my calories because I need to be able to produce milk, or I need to be eating this because I'm hungry, I'm making milk. It was just an excuse for everything. It was me trying to compensate for whatever I was feeling in that moment with food. Now, I've never been skinny. And what I mean by that is I've never been to a doctor's appointment and them saying, yeah, you're in the right BMI. But I also wasn't fat when I was growing up or a teenager. But I just never was like everybody else around me. My friends had always been on the smaller side, and I was the biggest out of my friends. When I was in high school, I was wearing a size 8 to 10, and for me, that was big. And looking back, I wish I could give myself a hug and tell her that she is not big, that she's not fat, and that she is beautiful. But I can't, and the only thing I can do is just try to make peace with that part of myself. And especially since I have children and I have a daughter, I definitely don't want her to ever feel like that and to be influenced by the media or her friends. During the summer of 2023, I went to an amusement park with my children, and this is when I grasped the concept of how big I actually was, because I was trying to get on a ride with my son, my oldest son, and I could not fit on the ride. I look back at that picture of us just smiling in the little cart, and I see how big I was, and I didn't even know until I couldn't buckle myself in the seat. And the worker came over and was like, well, you have to be able to buckle yourself to be able to ride. And I had to tell my son, I had to tell my 5-year-old that I couldn't be on the ride with him. I got off the ride and I watched him go around on this little train by himself. And I just stood there and I tried to hold back the tears. And my husband was there and he was trying to console me, and I just thought, like, this is the worst feeling right now. I don't want to be feeling this. That's probably one of the reasons, or one of the inspirations for me starting my journey a couple months after that. I had gone to Puerto Rico that year, and that was my first time going to Puerto Rico. My family is from there, and I was really excited to go to a place that I had heard so much about, and that I knew about the culture, and that it was my culture. And when we got there, I just felt so uncomfortable. I knew I had to be in a bathing suit. We were gonna be on the beach. I felt just so disgusting. And there's no other way for me to kind of reflect on that time. At least right now, I feel like that's the way that I felt. I didn't want to go out of the room. I was very anxious and I felt kind of angry with myself, and I didn't really enjoy going or participating in anything to its full extent. It was really difficult because a lot of the things that we wanted to do were physical. So there was one thing that, it was an old army base and it was up a very, very steep hill. And because of the shape that I was in, I was not able to walk up the hill. And I just sat at the bottom of the hill and I felt so defeated and I cried because I couldn't even participate in my honeymoon activities. I wanted to be able to walk around and explore, and I wasn't even able to do that. Fast forward to December 2023, I asked my husband for a gym membership, and I did this because that's all I wanted to do for Christmas. That's all I wanted as a present. I just wanted to start working out, and I wanted to commit myself to being a better version of myself, to feel happier in my skin, to keep up with my children, and actually participate in things that would make them happy and make myself happy. I wanted to be able to experience life with my children, and my weight was preventing me from doing so. So I started working out, and within 6 weeks, I had lost 17 pounds. I was so happy. I couldn't believe how dedicated I was. I was waking up at 4 a.m. I had started following all of these different people on Instagram. My feed went from mommy influencers to fitness influencers just to motivate me. I was learning about supplements. I was really happy. I started getting different clothes. My clothes started to fit looser. And I just felt so motivated to go to the gym and continue to work out. Until the motivation died. I experienced burnout. And a lot of you may be able to relate to this. Burnout is a silent killer. I was waking up at a really, really early time and then going to bed really, really late. I had changed around my diet, but it wasn't exactly where I needed it to be. So my energy levels were pretty low. With burnout, what you want to do is make sure that you're having a sustainable routine. If you are stretching yourself out too thin, then you will experience burnout. It will not skip you. You will feel it in some form or fashion, whether you are exhausted, moody, if you're just tired, like around midday. If you start to feel those things, or if you just feel like not motivated to do something that you set out to do, it's burnout. Some ways that you can avoid burnout are making sure that you have a solid routine. So that is your morning routine, nighttime routine, bedtime routine, making sure that you're going to sleep at a reasonable time, especially if you are waking up early to go to the gym. Making sure that you are eating a balanced diet. That means healthy fats, carbs, and high protein. And getting rest. If you do not rest, you will not be able to recover from your training, and you will be exhausted and your body won't be able to keep up. Another thing that happened to me was gym anxiety. And this one you might not know so much about, or if you do, I'm very sorry. I have gym anxiety even now. I feel anxious going to the gym by myself, but at this point I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm going in for. So if I do feel anxious, I kind of just keep my head down, my headphones on, I start playing my music, and I just block out everybody else. I try to focus on whatever I'm working on that day, whether it be legs, upper body, or functional movement. I just really get in the zone, and I try not to focus on anybody else. But as a beginner, I had bad gym anxiety, and that prevented me from going to the gym. And I stopped going to the gym. I had a gym membership for over a year, and I would go sporadically. I was not committed to a gym schedule anymore, but I did not stop working out because obviously I still lost so much weight. So how did I do it? I did at-home workouts, and let me tell you a secret. I walked a lot. I walked about 5 miles a day, sometimes more. So with all of that and changing around my diet and still continuing to be active on top of my workouts at home, I lost the weight. I just kept shedding the weight. It was a good schedule for me, especially with the anxiety. I didn't have a lot of motivation to go back to the gym because I had found workouts that I loved at home. I had found out that I liked walking. I loved it, actually. I still love walking. It's just so cold right now that it's painful to walk. It's actually painful to walk outside. Over the weekend, I did go for a 2-mile run, and that is something that I picked up after, I want to say after I lost about 60 pounds or 50 to 60 pounds. I just didn't consider myself a runner before then, or that I could be a runner before then. By the time that my birthday had rolled around in 2024, I had lost 60 pounds. And I was trying to break out of the plateau that I had experienced or been experiencing. We were also going to be going back to Puerto Rico, so I wanted to try and tone up and lose a little bit more weight. When I was in the gym, when I had gone back into the gym, I was about 210 pounds. And then when we were on our trip, I was bouncing between 203 and 205. So I was able to still lose, I think, about 8 pounds within the time span of 2 weeks, which is really good if you think about it. And that's just because of the dedication and also switching up my workouts. If you are in a plateau, I can make a different video for it. But if you're in a plateau, it is really best to try and switch up your workouts and then also see what you can kind of modify in your diet. I also started prioritizing my sleep. There are some days that I get home really, really late and I'm not able to go to the gym, but I'm not able to wake up early to go to the gym because that just wouldn't be sustainable for me. But really prioritizing your sleep and letting your body get that rest will help you on your weight loss journey. What did I do to actually keep the weight off and sustain my weight loss at home without a gym membership? I did strength training at home. So I have a 20-pound dumbbell, 2 12-pound dumbbells, and 2 3-pound dumbbells. I put on different videos. I did HIIT videos, walking videos, strength training videos. It was a combination of everything. I tried to incorporate different moves that I had learned at the gym in the house. And like I said, I had been walking so much. I had been getting over 10,000 steps a day. On top of that, I was eating for the amount of activity that I was actually doing. So I was hydrating a lot. That also helps you. I was eating high protein meals. I still do eat high protein meals. I sound like I'm talking in the past, but I'm just talking about how I actually got to where I am today. It's a lot of high protein, a lot of healthy fats, things that are actually going to keep me full. If I need a snack, I was making sure that it was a high protein snack, like a Greek yogurt. I really love the Oikos, the 15 grams. It's 90 calories for 15 grams of protein. Amazing. I love it. And then also, if it's that time of the month, I throw a little dark chocolate in there. So good. If you girls have not tried it, you need to try it. It is so bomb. Especially the cherry flavor with the chocolate. Ooh, so good. I think that some of the best tips that I have picked up on are prioritizing your nutrients. So that's your micros and your macros. It is taking care of your sleep and your mental health. Making sure you're not burning out and making sure that your body's getting enough rest, because you can't reach your goals if you're not resting. The other thing is staying disciplined and not trying to rely on motivation, because at a certain point we will feel unmotivated. The high of our new goals it's going to waste away. And what's going to be left is your willpower, and that is your discipline. Your goals do not care if you are motivated or not, so you have to just stick to it. Another thing that I have implemented in my life is trying not to finish all the food on my plate. I know that I can just take it home and I can have leftovers. So if that is something that you guys are struggling with, definitely try to drink water with your meal. Drink it before your meal and also drink it during your meal so that you feel a bit fuller while you're eating. Making sure that you are properly nourishing your body as well is a very, very important tip, because if you are under eating, you will not be able to reach your goals. Even though the weight will fall off quickly, once you stop and it is not sustainable anymore, the weight will come back. In a society where our appearance is very much a big factor in how people view us, it is really hard for us to not hold so much power in weight and weight loss if that is what you are trying to do. Just know that it is not going to happen quickly, and if you are on a weight loss journey, you can do it. You are doing amazing, and I believe in you. If this video was helpful or inspirational, please give it a thumbs up, and also click the bell notifications and subscribe while you're at it. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.